Alrighty. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Friday, September 24th, little afternoon. This is our last program of the week, which is kind of crazy, huh? This is starting on Monday, right, Cheryl?
This is our 14th program.
This is our 14th program of the week.
Counting?
And so, yes.
I am.
What was that, Carol? What did you say?
I said, but who's counting?
Oh,
And
we are.
I agree.
Oh, we are.
Yes. Yes, we are. But thank you so much for all of you who've joined us either while we're doing this or have joined us in terms of watching us on Facebook or on YouTube at a later time. Just thank you for being with us. Thank you for this opportunity to engage with all of you throughout this week. We started off every day with a prayer slash kind of spiritual reflection, connection with scripture / meditation. Today we had the Tibetan Buddhist faith. We followed it up with programs, lunch programs. We had lunch with Rini Ghosh, who was one of our former presidents. She cooked some delicious Indian cuisine. And then we had Cooking with the Cantor with our Elon Davidson right here. We had the dinosaurs. If you haven't seen the dinosaur video, it was great. It was a great show for just highlighting Long Beach as well. And then we had evening programs. We had a serious discussion about the role that faith plays in terms of really handling difficult situations and issues. And then we had poetry night. We had a night of music. We had Religion 101 last night. So it's been a really full week. So I thank all of you, the board members and the SAGE members, the SAGE being our past presidents, all the volunteers for just making it happen. Thank you, Cheryl. I mean, my goodness, you made everything seem like so. I would just show up and I'd be like, okay, Cheryl, so let's play that, and boom, it would be there. So thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for everything that you do. So today, what we wanted to do is just kind of have a recap and a rewind and a kind of like reflections and who we have amongst us, our current board members, as well as past board members and past presidents, those who were able to attend. And Dawn is with us as well. And Dawn, I don't know, you're more than welcome to join this conversation and show us yourself if you'd like. But Don is the president of the Orange County Interfaith Network, and he has been with our family this whole, yes, Bonnie, you might be. Bonnie sends a message that she feels like she's being called to be a future board member. But he's been with us this whole week, so we thank you for that. So what I want to do real quick now is how about we all kind of introduce ourselves. We'll start with Cheryl. Cheryl, you're always kind of in the back, and so please tell a little bit about who you are and what you do per the council and all that good stuff.
Well, my name's Cheryl Bentz, and I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I've been with SCIC for the extent of the pandemic. I started in December of 2019, so I've not known SCIC except for being in a pandemic, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's an amazing organization. At this point, I am a very tired office admin. On Beach Gifts has been a wonderful experience, but also an exhausting experience.
Yeah. For sure.
But I've thoroughly enjoyed all of the programs. They've just been so amazing, uplifting, informative. So it's a good tired.
And thank you for not thinking we're absolutely insane. When we were presenting this program, Cheryl's like, how many a day? And all of a sudden she was on board. So thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Who else? Please, Susan?
Let's start with Susan. She's our president.
She's our president. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I was just sharing the link with Sarah, who's frantically looking for it. The link. I just sent it to her.
Okay.
There we go. I'm the current president of SCIC. I'm a member of Temple Beth El in San Pedro. And I am so grateful for being a part of this organization and helping to guide what we've been able to accomplish these last 18 months during the pandemic. I'm very, very proud of what we did. And I thank everybody so very much for supporting us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Susan. Absolutely. Who's next? Who would like to go next?
Our president-elect.
Okay, yes, Cheryl. Thank you. What am I going to do without you, Cheryl? Cheryl, our president-elect, Carol.
I'm Carol Wagner. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I've been with the South Coast Interfaith Council for, I believe, 3 years, maybe 4, as just a member. Love this group. It's been a great week, and I am a stay-at-home person, but I've loved the COVID time just because I could go to so many more things and not have to leave my house. But it will be nice to be able to be with people once again.
Of course. Thank you, Carol. And you're I think it's been about 3 years, because I think I was pregnant when you joined, and Zahra's 2.5. So 3 to 4 years. Yeah. Who else? How about Patty Heckman? Who's please.
Hi, I'm Patty Heckman. I'm with the SGI, or Soka Gakkai International Buddhist Community, and my center is right here in Long Beach. And I've been a part of the council for a long time. I think Amelia and I kind of were the same year. Yeah, so I know Elon from a long time ago, and so I'm just really glad that I'm on the council again this year, and I have to say, this year and last year we became so creative, wanting to reach many people, not just for the pandemic, but for what's going on in people's, what is the mind frame, what is the collective thought about our future, because this is a divisive country right now, and we didn't want to lose anybody's voice in that really important conversation. And I really feel like our programs address that, and not only addressed it, but gave a forum for our members to come back with, their input, and really join with us in this, collective voice. And I, for one, have gained so much more hope for the future, just participating with all of you on the board and with all of our members, through these programs. And this week was a little tiring. I didn't do near as much as Cheryl and Amelia, but it was, I have to say, it was a blast. It was really a blast. And I loved making those connections, either through my own network or just calling, other people, and letting them know what we were doing, and then saying, oh, that's great, and catching up.
And Patty's wonderful at that. She connects us with so many people and so many organizations in the community. And so we're so appreciative of that, Patty. Thank you. And you're right, in terms of the outreach, I think one of the things that was most amazing the last 2 years are how far, like for example, even through Long Beach Gives, we had donations that came in from Sydney, Australia, and you're like, oh my goodness, during Spoken Night, for those of you who were there that evening, if you remember, we had he's a professor, but he's a poet himself, from Norway, who joined us live as we were doing this. It was 4:00 in the morning, and he chanted the most beautiful prayer from the Baha'i faith, and then he chanted this Arabic prayer. And so, yeah, like those, on our budget, we could not fly someone in from Norway. So, how great is it that people can join from all across the world? So you're absolutely right, Patty. Let's see our current Marietta. Let's do Marietta, Sarah, and then Cantor Elon Davidson.
Okay, I'm Marietta Fong from Rolling Hills United Methodist Church, and I've been joyously involved in the South Coast Interfaith Council for 3 years, something like that. And I, it's just been such a gift to make new friends and connect with old friends, and to experience really what I found to be like family. And so I would just wish that for all the people who've been exposed or introduced to the South Coast Interfaith Council, through a lot of the programs that we've done and through this past week of giving at Long Beach Gives, we've been able to reach so many people and just show them what it's like to be part of this phenomenal group and to expand and just keep that going and enhance it. I've been amazed at the community support. We had 150 donors?
Yep,
That was just astounding and beautiful. And then, of course, the creativity and the professionalism, Melia, Cheryl, I mean, just all the people who chipped in. My goodness, all the people who contributed to the programs this week. Talk about something that was just uplifting and inspirational and full of talent and full of generosity for all the people who contributed something. And it's all going to be on YouTube.
Yes.
So that people can check in and watch any of these things whenever they want to in the future. Yes. Talk about a gift that's going to last.
Yeah.
So I'm just really grateful.
Thank you, Marietta. And I think we were all amazed at some, like particularly some of the programs like Spoke at Night. Tony Lee, Dr. Anthony Lee, who's not here right now, but he's a member of the Manhattan Beach Baha'i community, himself a professor and a poet, beautiful poetry. Every word that he says, it comes from the heart. You know, he recited one of his original poems and, you know, and it was so cute. He was like, I've practiced this 3 times during the day, because I don't want to cry in the middle of it. And yet behold, as he was reciting, you know, his poem, there's tears that came down his eyes. And so literally within a matter of days, he gathered together 11 poets from not just in Southern California, Northern California, in the East Coast, in Norway. And, you know, and it was just a beautiful example of people coming together. So you're absolutely right, Marietta, absolutely right. Sarah Dean, can you speak with us? But please drive. Please be careful. If you can't, it's okay. Yeah,
I actually just got home now, thankfully.
Yay!
Just a hot mess. Hello, everyone.
You're not a hot mess.
I'm just frazzled, but yeah, you know, I'm sure you guys have had this, or maybe you've had this experience where you do everything that you're supposed to do for a project and it still doesn't go the way you wanted. And sometimes it's just, you can feel God's presence. You do the same motions and things just, it feels like magic. It feels divinely, you know, ordained and blessed. And that's how this week has been. We each contributed, you know, our little perspective, our little whatever we had to offer, but what we ended up with was just so miraculous. I grew so much this week and I didn't expect that, to be honest. I'm still, this morning's meditation is still going through my head and I'm going to be working through it probably for the next couple of days. So I'm just so grateful. And it's the people, you know, the people in and around the Interfaith Council. I'm really grateful for the friendships, the unconditional love and trust, you know, and the curiosity that everyone brings. You know, we all, whenever we have a project, we never know where we're going to end up with it. And we always end up somewhere that's even more beautiful than I could have come up with, or any one of us could come up with, in a very unexpected way. So I'm just really grateful to have had this. I feel like I spent time with each one of you this week. I'm going to miss everyone. I can't wait till we get to see each other in person. And seriously, Melia and Cheryl, no amount of thank yous and gratitudes and could really do justice for all of the heart you put in this week. So thank you both so much, and being so patient with the rest of us when we forgot to log in at the right time, or we couldn't find our logins, or, you know, so thank you. We love and appreciate you both so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Happy Friday to everyone, to the Muslims out there. Jumu'ah Mubarak, Shabbat Shalom to all my Jewish friends. Happy weekend to everybody else.
Yes. Sorry, I was referring this morning, we had a Tibetan, an individual who practices Tibetan Buddhism, and she did this meditation, this guided meditation. And one of the prompts we talked about various things like compassion. And one of the things that she asked us to do is, you know, think about a person that is difficult for us to love. As human beings, we have that. And then to really contemplate as to why that's the case, and if it's something because of something in us, right? And then the concept of forgiveness. And so it was a lot, it was a lot that you were asked to just kind of sit and focus and think about. So yeah, absolutely, it was interesting. And Cantor Elon Davidson.
Thank you, Amelia. Thank you so much. I'm Cantor Elon Davidson. I serve Temple Bethel in San Pedro. I've been their cantor there now for 27 years.
Oh my
and
gosh. Wow.
I also serve as a LA County Commissioner on the Commission for Human Relations. And it was my deepest and greatest honor to serve as the president of SCIC for 3 wonderful years. And I know that everyone that's on here who is a past president or a current president is saying, but wait, I thought the term was only 2 years. And it is, but life has these funny ways of making things happen. And I had to step in when I was president-elect. I had to step in and become the president of the SCIC. And I was, I believe, Milia's second president. And it was really when I think back to that time, it was this wonderful opportunity both for Milia and I to present this face of the South Coast Interfaith Council with this new incredible executive director who was a Muslim, and this president who was Jewish, and coming from a long tradition at Temple Bethel of our involvement. In fact, Rabbi Lieb of blessed memory was the impetus of changing from the South Coast Ecumenical Council to the South Coast Interfaith Council. That's right. And then I feel like Milia and I spent a lot of our time for those 3 years bringing the council into the 21st century. I remember the first meeting when Milia showed up with her computer in front of her and everyone said, "What is she doing?"
I remember that. I do. Yeah.
She's typing during the meeting. What is going on? And we worked a lot on that. We brought some new great programs, including Religion 101 was something that we dreamed up together, which is still going strong and going on great. And I think that I was among the first to really dream that we could raise a whole lot more money for this organization, and to allow us and encourage us to dream beyond the minuscule budget that we had at the time, and to imagine that we could do a whole lot more in this community. And so it's so wonderful to see how the council has grown, to see how the leadership continues to create new and wonderful changes, and to see how this 21st century is finally very realistic here. And thank God we started working many, many years ago to bring us into that, so that when this pandemic hit, it was not the end of the council, but rather it was a new beginning for the council and a new way of reaching out to more and more people. And Cheryl, thank you for your incredible partnership with Milia to make sure that all of that happens. And to Susan, our current president, member of my congregation, and carrying on the absolutely joyous tradition of our congregation's partnership with South Coast Interfaith Council. So thank you for having me.
And we always talk about, you're right. I mean, I remember those first meetings, and I remember some of those board members. It was 13 years ago, so that's insane. But I remember I remember we had some board members who had just gotten a cell phone, and it was, I still remember I was telling them, like, this is how you do it. But here's the thing. I mean, yes, we have grown, and that's fantastic. Yes, we've changed in many ways in terms of technology and things like that. But the individuals who were here, certainly before me, I think of Jenny Wagner, who was here, God rest her soul. She was the director of the council for 18 years. And those individuals who were here before even Jenny, because we've been in existence now for 69 years almost. And, yes, they may not have the technology. Yes, they may not have, the WhatsApp groups. And yes, I was so grateful to be, we vamped our logo, we vamped our this and that. But I tell you what, they had the greatest hearts in terms of their commitment to what this council could be. And, I will always be indebted to them, because they set the foundation of who we are right now. Jenny, I used to joke every time I went to any meeting, and I would say, "Oh, Amelia is from South," and they're like, "Oh, Jenny Wagner." I was like, "Yes, yes." And I used to joke Jenny must have had like 72 hours in her 24-hour day, because she had so many connections. She made so many connections. She loved what the potential was in the council. And she devoted her life to it, and not just Jenny, but like I said, I think back to Dwayne Moray. I don't know. I think maybe Elon and Patty might be the only ones that remember Dwayne. Yeah. He was my first president, and he's actually in Minnesota now. But, these individuals, my goodness, they had a vision. They had a vision at a time when, interfaith wasn't necessarily like the coolest thing, or, people didn't necessarily see all the potential in, but they had the vision, and they had the heart, and they gave the time and the commitment. So we're so, we stand in their footsteps. So thank you for all of those individuals who brought us to where we are today. And then, so that's kind of all of our board members. And Bonnie, I know Bonnie she's graciously joined us today, because we wanted to conclude kind of this week with, some sort of spirituality, some sort of prayer, some sort of meditation. And Bonnie embarks on that. And so, but Bonnie, introduce yourself, and we'll have a little bit more conversation, and then we'll end in 10 minutes or so. But please, Bonnie.
Well, thank you. I am honored that that I'm here. I have been on the periphery of this council for many years. I mean, I remember dancing with Richard Simmons. But,
yes, that was one of our programs. That's right.
That was a great program. Oh, was that a day?
And I've had Henna, art.
Right?
Yes,
So
wonderful.
I have participated.
Yeah.
Who I am? I'm Chaplain Bonnie Leopold. I'm a retired hospice chaplain, and I'm also I'm a Jewish chaplain, but I'm also an ordained interfaith. What am I? Minister, I guess. And who I am is interfaith. So this is so perfect for me. My mother's father was Irish. And he was also the deacon of his Baptist church that he helped build. So I have those roots in me. My mother's mother has a Native American Cherokee background, so I'm part Cherokee Indian. And then my father's family is from Russia, so that's my Jewish roots, which is what I grew up in. But yet the other part, the Native American parts of me, and just I'm all inclusive. I approach everything with non-judgmental curiosity. I used to, connect with people soul to soul without looking at the vessel that they were in, but now I know I need to expand to include all of the being that's before me. I have studied so many different healing modalities, and now I'm at a place where everything seems to come together. And I've been grateful I've been grateful in many ways for the pandemic, because I had joined Temple Bethel, which is Susan and Cantor Elon's congregation as well, right before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And I have grown so much during this time because I was in isolation here at home, and I communicated with the God of my understanding all the time. Mm. And when we read text, biblical text or different spiritual readings that talk about this personal relationship with the one above, whatever that is for you, I can say I've had that. Mm-hmm. And I am so grateful because miracles have happened because of that. Mm-hmm. So today what I want to share with you, I keep asking how much time do I have, because I could go on for, ever. But
hey, Bonnie, can I interrupt for 1 second, because I don't want to interrupt you while you start the process of us concluding, which is where you will share your talent, your skills, your practices. And I know it's 12:33, but I think, what I would like, if I may, and then ask you to please do this. As we look to the future, I know President-elect Carol is there, who is our President-elect. And what I would love, if I could spend just a few minutes, and I have to say, we are actually going to lose Cheryl, and I'm so sad about that. But to the world out there, we'll definitely have, focus on this more, but we will be looking for another office administrator, because Cheryl is, she will always be part of our family, but she's also going to be a grandmother, which is amazing, the most amazing grandmother in the world. And she's going to actually be a grandmother full-time. So she'll be taking care of her grandson while her daughter goes back to work after they have the baby. So although I will miss you so much, Cheryl, so much. But like I said, as someone who had a newborn just 2 years ago, I understand how important that, having someone there to take care of your child, it's invaluable. So we will miss you, but yes, but what I wanted to just do, Bonnie, if you allow me, just about 5-6 minutes, and then please, the floor is yours to conclude us in prayer. I would love to hear your guys' vision in terms of, as we move forward, from what we're envisioning, what we're hoping. The executive committee has started thinking about our programming for next year, and certainly it'll be a new normal, right? It probably will not be the exact same that we were used to prior to the pandemic, but at the same time, we envision hopefully starting to meet in person and things like that. So keeping that in mind, I would love to just hear all of your reflections or your visions of where you think that we can take the SCIC next. So I'll start with Carol as our president-elect, and just a small discussion on that. That would be wonderful.
Thanks very much. Didn't know this was coming, but I have thought about it. And I just want you to notice that I unmuted myself without anyone having to tell me, so I'm making progress.
Yay!
I would like to see our group have more interaction with congregations, like maybe 2 congregations getting together with a service project of some kind, so that more individuals in the congregations have one-on-one experiences in interfaith, as opposed to just their leaders doing that. And I know that I have enjoyed that kind of experience myself, and I think it just, the more that we each individually get to know other people who maybe have some differences from us individually, the more we're brought together and we break down barriers that can be there. So that's one of my visions for the future.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. Please, anyone else jump in as I take notes.
I think that following in Sarah's footsteps and into my time as president, we have really explored where we can go with social justice issues and issues of equity in the programming that we've done. And some people may see that as politics, but I think I see that as a matter of faith, and as people of faith, what our values are and what that means to society. And so I hope that we continue those programs and continue to push the envelope even more.
Excellent.
I as well would like to, for the future, expand into social justice more, dig deeper. But also, I think we uncovered other areas that maybe we didn't really think about as, belonging in the faith spectrum. But I would like to go into more about, into the arts. And I think it's, exploring people's culture. And, the arts also, they make us feel, alive. They make us feel human in the most, divine kind of way, if I can say it like that. And we we have so many, local groups. They're not professionals, and that's just great because I think they understand, they understand spirituality at another level, even if they're not part of like the Jewish group or the Baha'i group or the Buddhist group or the Christian group, or they understand, spirituality. So I think there's a common ground there. And I like the fact of the council reaching out into neighborhoods and, just really hitting the streets, so to speak, and, kind of wrapping our arms and our reach around the common person or around essential workers even. That's where I would like to go in the future.
That's amazing. Okay.
I think that, sorry, Marietta.
I'll say something really quickly.
Sure, please.
I think that one of the things that will be really wonderful when we can actually physically get together more often is to have things on location of the different congregations or synagogues, et cetera, simply because when you're a host organization, so to speak, and you're welcoming people into your home, so to speak, then the connections are really something that can blossom. And that's where, as was mentioned before, as Carol mentioned, especially getting congregations together to do things, when people get together and actually meet face to face, or even on Zoom, if you've got a host organization that needs to show up, then they connect with people. And that it's all about the people connection where the rubber meets the road and things happen.
Very true.
Yeah, sorry, Alon.
No, it's totally fine. I think that in going back to our, this organization's initial vision and carrying that into the 21st century, I think that having questions perhaps through our social media that spark on comments and conversations on important topics and the tough questions sometimes about how we believe and what we believe and why we believe. These kinds of questions, to be able to have forums similar to our interfaith cafes and things like that, but to be able to take that to a broader audience through these incredible mediums that we have available to us now, through social media, through Zoom, through whatever it is, and be able to have those discussions and invite people's comments. It can be a little scary to do that, but at the same time, there's so much that we could potentially learn about each other.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. Wow, look at that. I have 8 new ideas. Yay. Guess what we'll be talking about next board meeting? But who else? Sardine, yes.
Sure. Everybody shared such beautiful ideas. So kind of what's coming to mind for me, or how those ideas are synergizing in my brain. Our faith traditions, value systems, they animate a lot of how we live our lives, the choices we make, whether it's where we do our shopping or what kind of activities we engage in. They really impact a lot of our choices and the way we live, right? And yet in our country today, we don't have spaces where we can talk about our religion, right? Our faith tradition. So it's strange. It's this kind of ambiguous entity that's informing so much of how we live our lives. And yet whether it's schools or civic spaces, it's that thing we don't talk about. And so I think one of the most important things that we do as an interfaith council is provide that safe, brave, imperfect, but space where we can see all of one another, right? Otherwise, when we show up in other spaces, there's this part of ourselves that we're never really supposed to bring, right? We're supposed to play it down. Being Muslim animates from the way I am a friend to people to the way I behave at work. It impacts everything, and yet I'm not supposed to express it because of this idea that separation between church and state means that you can't carry your faith with you. So I love that we are that place where we can explore the same questions and problems of today with this additional ability to address this aspect. And then I'm gonna, because I do want to hear from Bonnie. I'm so looking forward to that. As someone who has kind of done this circle of starting out in interfaith work, which naturally drove me to social justice spaces, then I started kind of paying attention as to why we are where we are. I really, and I know I keep bringing this up over and over and over again, there are too many voices right now that want us to villainize and dehumanize the person on the other side of every darn issue right now. And I think the gift that the interfaith space and faith traditions have to offer the world right now is a reminder that every single human being is sacred and inherently worthy of our love, and have us begin every conversation, even the ones that are difficult and ugly, holding that near. I think that's what the world really needs right now. It's the only way that we're going to be able to move forward together as humanity. We don't get to eject everybody we don't understand or agree with from the planet. We all have to find a way forward, dehumanizing the other person using terms that reduce an identity. And I'm going to use an example only because I think it's really important. I believe in, for example, wearing a mask. I disagree with calling a person an anti-masker. When we use a term like that, we erase that person's entire being, and only it's a trope. As in a group of, as a Muslim, I know how harmful that is, and it does not lead to productive conversation. So I'm really hoping that as we move forward, that we can remember to find a way to do the work that's so important to us, gathering people, I think, and I think we've talked about that. I think the executive committee is going to be meeting within the next month or so to figure out what 2022 looks like for us. Hopefully we can maybe do some outdoor garden gatherings, and and then also continue our work as what Susan was referring to, but remember to keep bringing our own flavor into those conversations, what we have to offer. And I'm sorry, that was way too long.
No, that's great. No, you're right. I mean, I think, in anthropology, I remember we used to study that, how at the end of the day, like we operate with labels, right? Whether we like it or not, subconsciously or consciously. But it's that balance of like how that, being cognizant and making sure that that label isn't the sole definition who that individual is. And whether that label is something that's conducive to better relationship with one another or not. So I think you bring up great points, Sarah. And so it went from 8 to 11 after your conversation. So there you go. I want to also Carol, Cheryl, and then Dawn, I see you joined us, and I think that's great. Dawn, you can kind of provide, and Bonnie, thank you for being patient with us. I know I said, oh yeah, Bonnie, we should be done. Don't worry, you'll be like, but I promise after Dawn, we'll wrap it up and we'll do our conclusion. But as someone who kind of, I know, Dawn, we're so grateful for you being with us this whole week. And, but as someone who kind of sees the SCIC from quote unquote, the outside, what things do you think we can do to better our organization and to grow our organization and to be of greater service to those who are around us? Oh, you're muted, Dawn.
I'm extremely impressed with what you're doing, and that you're going to be meeting next week to make it even better. Our Orange County Innovate Council, or network, for which I'm VP and the co-founder, we're having a session of 8 meetings with a professional consultant on rebranding and re-examining our missions, that sort of thing. And we have about 16 board members, and we're going to try to reinvent ourselves. And as we do that and discover new things and new ways of expressing things, fresh ones, we may share that with you to see if you can come up with anything that's valuable to you.
Absolutely.
And someone's actually welcome to sit in on those and see the process if they want.
That would be fantastic. Thank you, Don.
And I'll forward that to Cheryl. Anyway, then we had a meeting yesterday with basically the fellow who was handling interfaith in San Diego area, Reverend Dr. Steve Albert and his wife Abigail, and they have some great ideas too that might be of use to you as well as us. So I'm hoping we can all share the best we have with each other and make the world a little better place. And I appreciate some of the fresh thoughts that were expressed today. I'm going to take it back to my network.
Thank you so much, Don, and we appreciate the sharing of these great the rebranding, the individuals. Absolutely, we would love to be a part of that conversation and see how we can gain from that as well. It's funny as we're
one more thought.
Of course.
Go on to something else. I was wondering how we could leverage the great work you did this week, so that share it with other people and to perhaps get some more donations. And how I was thinking about having sending out an email to our email list with the highlights and how to click on each one, and maybe something because if you missed it, these are some of the. If you like this is a great one for that. If you like that, a great one for meditation or whatever. Give them a few target ones, plus all the rest of the list that they can just click on and get right into the get right into the Facebook account. And so if you have some ways of doing that, how we can leverage the good work you've done so it goes on for longer.
Sure, and I will do that. At the end, I'll send out a constant contact, kind of that summation of this week and expressing our gratitude. So absolutely, so that's something we would love it if you'd share that with your network as well. Thank you, Don.
With links.
With links, yes, sir. We just have to click it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All of the programs are already uploaded to our YouTube channel.
Yes, and they are already uploaded.
I've been watching.
Yeah, it's funny as we're talking, Cheryl sends me this direct message, Melia, I don't have anything to add. And I'm like, Cheryl, you have so much to add, but I know that you're also cognizant of like, okay, Melia, look at the time. So I will respect that, but I know that I will learn before Cheryl physically leaves the presence. I have no doubt that we will engage her and make sure that we also learn from her insights and what she feels in ways that we could better ourselves. One conversation, I have to say this as we go forward, Susan, I'm so grateful to Susan who we started the week of the afternoon with this program of artists and musician, and this one individual artist, Rivka, am I remembering the net? Yeah, there after the session, we've been having conversations offline on, chat and things like that. And, for those of you who didn't see that conversation, I invite you to please do so. She comes from the East Coast and she comes from a Hasidic community actually. But she's Orthodox, but outside of the Hasidic community now. And she has this amazing initiative where I think it's a Council of the Long Beach Council of Arts. Is that correct, Susan? Or is it Los Angeles?
It's actually the city of Long Beach.
The city of Long Beach, where she will be creating 10 portraits, I believe, of 10 individuals of different faiths, right? Just a still portrait. And then that will be displayed. And then relationships will then be built from those 10 individuals, right? And so basically just, and she had this one initiative when she was in New York where they would have these conversations in their house with members of the Jewish community who left Orthodox Judaism, right? Who left the Hasidic community, and she would engage in dialogue with them as a member of the Orthodox community. Anyways, we had all these conversations, and it made me also think as we move forward, I think these are also important conversations to have, right? Not just interfaith, but also intra-faith. What does it mean? How do we build that and bridge those gaps together as well? Because I think that's so important. So, I just had to mention that because it's been in my head, and certainly it's something that I hope that we can talk about further and see how we can build on something like that as well. So for those of you who are out there, just before Bonnie goes on, thank you Thank you, thank you, thank you from the most bottom depths of our heart for your continuous support of the council, for always being here, for believing in what we do, for trusting in us, and for really allowing us that honor of being a part of your life. We are here to serve. So you've heard ideas here as we move forward. If there's anything that you feel, any new programs, any new ideas, any new initiatives, any ways that we can better serve you, please know that that is what we're here to do. So all it requires is just let us know, give us an email, our phone number, through Facebook, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, we are here because of you, and we want to be an agent of service, an agent of proactive change in our community. And for Long Beach Gives particularly, thank you, Long Beach Gives. Thank you, Nico, everyone. I can't even imagine what they've gone through this week. I mean, we're one organization. They had over 200 that was engaging in this. So thank you so much for this opportunity to help all these amazing nonprofits in the Long Beach area. And there's so many. And thank you to the nonprofits for all your work. Before Bonnie, we concluded with, and let me just pull up that image. It's 7 days. It was about, aside from just the Thursday, the giving started last Friday. So we had 24 peer fundraisers, 150 donors, and $32,664 raised. So thank you so much for that. So Bonnie, yay! Now, please, I give it to you, please.
Now, I invite everyone to take a deep breath.
Yes.
And hold it for a second. And then release. I also invite everyone to mute during this time. And this is the perfect opportunity for communication without words. That I'm going to invite you to take a journey to an inner state, to integrate self-love and self-appreciation, giving and receiving, and a thank you to the God of your understanding. When anyone gives you something, you say thank you. There are blessings for everything. We give thanks. Like we thank all those who have contributed during this past week to keep this group going. And I'm honored to join you on this next part of my life journey. But before we consume anything, there needs to be a small prayer of gratitude, and then that gift is acknowledged. So during our short time together today, let's develop our sensitivity to the environment, to everything and everyone who passes your way, giving thanks, seeing the good. And we'll keep our grounding. Through the tones of the quartz crystal bowls, we connect to the parts of ourselves that need to be shook up a little bit to release what is no longer needed. Whatever that may be for you. This past year of reflection and uncertainty and confusion and fear, we've now reached a place of possibility. As we mourn all those who we have lost, not just from COVID, but the losses in our lives, today is a moment to open to new possibilities. Remember, there's nothing wrong with you. Who we are is already whole. Yet we each have had our own personal work to do on this journey of life. Today, surround yourself with compassion and love. This is a tuning of your heart, tuning of our heart, exploring where we began over a year ago. Spirituality is a tuning of the heart. Our true pitch, our home. Plant your feet on the ground. Allow yourself to be in a comfortable position. And remember to breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Open the pathways that have been closed. Rediscover sound vibrations. Our communication before words. If you're triggered by an emotion, I invite you to sit in that and hum. You become your own sound bowl. If there are things we want to release, we rotate in counterclockwise. And then be open to receive, and you can rotate in a clockwise rotation. But vibrations are here. Vibrations are here to heal us. Focusing on our root chakra, our foundation. When this part of us, part of our being is closed, there's anger and resentment and jealousy. But when we can open to receive, then we have physical energy and strength. Plexus. When this is closed, there's fear and anxiety and distrust. Then when it opens, there's mental energy, endurance, humility. Our heart, color green. When this is closed, we can't receive. We don't know how to receive. By opening our heart, releasing excessive worry, irritable thoughts, we release, and then we're open to beauty and confidence and flexibility. Communication. These are the tones that I've brought out to share with you today. Communication is so important, but when this area of our throat is shut down, we're hesitant to speak our own feelings. So much has been shared this morning about being able to have that safe space to share. So we open to release. Listen, create. May my heart be cleansed of useless anger. May my eyes see the good in all. May I give the other the benefit of the doubt. May I be a maker of peace. I release. I let go of all patterns that do not serve. I clear the way for radiance and light, for expression, for freedom. The power of the crystal bowls goes beyond words. There are so many things I take for granted. May I not ignore them today. Just for today, help me to remember that my life is a gift, that my health is a blessing, that this new day is filled with awesome potential, that I have the capacity to bring something wholly new and unique and good into this world. Just for today, help me to remember to be kind and patient to the people who love me and to those who work with me too. Teach me to see all the beauty that I so often ignore and to listen to the silent longing of my own soul. Just for today, help me, God, to remember you. Let this be a good day, full of joy and love. Slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Returning to your breath. Breathing in. And breathing out. Bring your awareness to your feet. Maybe wiggle your toes if you're able. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Maybe rotate them a little bit as you're returning to your vessel, this body. Wiggle your fingers. Open your eyes when you feel comfortable to do so. And let us just sit in silence for just a few moments in appreciation of this gift of calm that you've given yourself. Have a blessed day.
That was beautiful, Bonnie. Thank you so much. It was the perfect, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it was the perfect thing we needed to bring this wonderful but hectic and busy and crazy week to an end. Thank you so much, Bonnie. That was, and yes, Sarah's like, I hope we can experience this in person one day. I would love that. I would love that. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you for that. Oh, and thank you to all of you, all of my friends who are here. Thank you. And all of our friends who are watching, thank you. And who will watch this, thank you so much. Thank you for your friendship and thank you for your gift of friendship and thank you for being who you are and for spending this time with us and honoring us with your presence and allowing us to be a part of your lives. So with that, I wish everyone a blessed afternoon and weekends and look forward to seeing all of you soon and connecting certainly before this, but most certainly again next year during our, again, our 2022 Long Beach Gives. So thank you all so much. Blessings to everyone. And we will we will see you soon. So take care, and a blessed afternoon and day to all. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. All right. Have a great, good day, everyone. Take care. Thank